cool. Next thing I want to talk about is Candace. Candace Owens. You guys know I did a video on Candace Owens on her return. She's back. You guys can go check out that video. So yeah, so now she's back. She's recently done a debate with Piers Morgan, blah, 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 the British guy who likes shouting at people. Yeah, it's man, it was a heated debate, bro. Watching it was just like these people are really getting at it. So they talk about a whole lot of things. They speak about a whole different topic. They talk about why she got fired, but we already covered all of that. So they also speak on some of her tweets. They deep dives into her tweets and all of that. Just crazy, man. Some crazy shit. Okay, so then they also talk about Kanye West, which is where we're going to take it from. Because, yeah, I like me some yay. I like me some yay. So yeah, he asks her about her relationship with Ye, and sure, we'll take it from there. All right, cool. Let's go.
I would say a less contentious matter, but it's not really. It's Kanye West. I interviewed him at length towards the end of last year. You've been pretty supportive of Ye, formerly Kanye West, even after he tweeted DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. He posted, I'm a bit sleepy tonight. When I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. And you wrote on the social media site Parler, if you're an honest person, you do not think this tweet was anti-Semitic. I mean, I don't know, why would you conclude that? Because it seems to me it's a pretty brazen statement of anti-Semitism to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. How else could it possibly how else could it be construed?
Yeah, sure. I can tell you how it's going to be construed because this is one of the things that's fascinating. First, I'd like to point to how interesting it is that the entire world came down on Kanye West, canceled him, took away his contracts, made his entire family come out and make statements against him when he tweeted that he was going to go DEFCON 3 on some Jewish people, I think is what he wrote verbatim. And now we fast forward to today when Israel is literally going DEFCON 3 on Palestinians.
He didn't say some, he said on Jewish people.
Okay, sure. And now we fast forward to today when Israel is literally going DEFCON 3 on Palestinians, and those same media members seem extremely cautious in their language. So the tweet is actual death, but the actual bombs being dropped, for some reason, real violence is something that the media can get comfortable with. I'd like to point to that because now some time has passed. But to answer your question of how I could have said that statement, obviously, you understand Ye is my friend, and I understood what was happening in his life and what had caused him to say that. He said when he woke up, he was going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. He's talking about specific Jewish people in his life that he believed had been taking advantage of him. And he then produced, and for whatever reason, the media was not interested in covering it extensively, a tweet from one of those people, Harley Pasternak, threatening to put him on a Psych 5150 hold and to drug him, and so that his visits with his kids wouldn't be the same. How Harley Pasternak has not been chased out of Hollywood.
I remember that. I remember he shared that on many podcasts, many interviews he's done. And I don't know if I remember seeing the exact message. But yeah, the message did say something along the lines like, I'm going to drug you, take you to the loony bin. You'll never see your kids. Da, 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 da. I do remember that. So, and Ye has spoken about it. He's spoken about fucking all the people in his life that have just made his life difficult, and they all just happen to be Jewish. So I guess that's where he's sort of, I don't even want to say hatred, because I don't think he hates the Jews, man. I just think he hates those specific people. His manager, he's I think one time he said his dietitian or his chiropractor or something like that. I don't know, something like that. It was also Jewish, and people he did business with who were also Jewish, and so I think his hatred for those people and his dislike for those people and them fucking him over, and then they all happen to be Jewish. So now he sort of took it upon himself to just like put it on the entire community. So when she says she knows the behind the stories of why Kanye tweeted that tweet of going DEFCON on those people, she knows that he tweeted it in the moment of him being, suppressed and fucking, controlled by those individuals in his life, not exactly the entire community, or the entire race of Jewish people. So yeah, but either way, he still tweeted it. Let's be honest. For the average person, we don't know Kanye like how Candace knows Kanye, So yes, Candace can interpret it, and she can have the background information to know that, okay, I know what he's talking about. I know the specific people he's talking about. For the rest of us who don't know Ye personally, we're just thinking the nigga is talking about all Jews. You know what I mean? So you can sort of understand why people took that tweet very, 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 very bad. Regardless of what you want to give as a defense. For the average person, when you saw that tweet, I was like, bro, imagine if a white person, a prominent white person, woke up one morning and tweeted, I'm going to massacre all the black people. It's going to be like, bro, the fuck? It's going to be it's going to look upon very weird, even if that white person was just like referring to a few people that he has encountered or whatever, you know what I mean? So
would after threatening to drug someone and take their kids away is the question that you should be asking. Now, I was privy not only to what Harley Pasternak was saying to him, but also to what 4 other happened to be Jewish people were saying to him at that time. And I think what happened is that he snapped and he suddenly wanted to aggressively attack those individuals and basically say that he was tired.
Candace, none of that changes the fact that what he tweeted was clearly anti-Semitic. When you say, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, that is a statement of anti-Semitism, indisputably. The idea that you would be dishonest if you didn't see that for what it was, whatever the circumstances, whatever was going on behind the scenes, for a guy with his massive following, which I think we can agree was indisputably massive at the time, for him to state that in public on a social media platform was a brazen act of disgusting anti-Semitism. And all right,
just to be clear, I didn't tweet on Parler. I, on my podcast, gave a full statement saying that if we're...
Oh, gosh.
being honest, you did not think that he was going to go kill some Jewish people. You didn't. And I think that if we're being honest...
Well, you said if you're an honest person, you did not think this tweet was anti-Semitic. I did think it was anti-Semitic. Everybody did. Okay. But you didn't. Why?
No, because I knew the backstory, so I had more information than the public had.
Yeah, but the statement is unambiguous. The statement had no clarification. It was unambiguous. It was
yeah, and then when he clarified, when he did try to clarify it, nobody paid attention. So can I ask you, why did you try to book Harley Pasternak after you saw what he tweeted to Kanye?
No, I booked Kanye himself, and I interviewed him for 2 hours.
But were you interested? That was thereafter when he showed the tweets of what Harley Pasternak said to him. Were you outraged by the idea that a Jewish man would threaten to drug someone so they couldn't see their family? Were you is that outrageous? Is that anti-black? Do you think that that's racist?
Well, whatever the circumstances of that wasn't...
No, Piers, answer the question. You're quick to say that a threat that you perceived, the language of him saying that he was going to go DEFCON 3, and just to be clear, DEFCON 3 is a defensive military position on some Jewish people, or Jewish people as a whole. I don't remember the exact tweet. You just said that you felt that was clearly anti-Semitic. Now I'm asking you, is it clearly racist? What is it clearly when a Jewish man says to a black man, okay, that they're going to drug them out of their minds, effectively MK Ultra them, and your visits with your children will never be the same? Because if you're asking me between the two, which is worse, it's obviously what Harley Pasternak wrote to Kanye West, which was not reported in the media.
Because he didn't put that in the tweet.
Okay, but Kanye tweeted it. Kanye tweeted publicly what Harley Pasternak said.
He did after the furore blew over his original
why
tweet.
didn't it trend? Why wasn't there the same
outrage? He didn't talk about one Jewish person. He talked about Jewish people.
I am asking you why the public was not as outraged as when somebody threatens to drug someone out of their mind as a very serious, real threat. And it was the same person, as he said, was the person who first put him in the hospital the first time.
Right.
You seem to be okay with it. You're just sort of like, well,
no, of course I'm not okay with it.
His tweet was so much worse. You're talking about taking away somebody's kids, putting them into a hospital, and drugging them out of their mind. Where is your outrage?
Well, I do not know the background to what you're saying.
Why does it seem to be that is always the circumstance? Like whenever a person speaks out about how they're being threatened. No.
For some reason, you don't want to.
This is very important. Let me finish this. This seems to be a trend that I recognized. I saw this with Rabbi Shmuley. For 2 years, okay, this rabbi openly threatened me, my family, my livelihood. Him and his daughter did this for 2 years. There was no outrage. None. Zero. In fact, you booked Rabbi Shmuley, didn't even ask him about it. Did you threaten again? And then all of a sudden, I do nothing. And the full media is accusing me of anti-Semitism. Why does there seem to be this double standard that specific Jewish people, if they want to, can threaten the lives of black people, specific black people? I'm giving myself as an example. And there's not the same response. Like, why wasn't Rabbi Shmuley trending for 2 years over what he said?
To be honest with you, we're going to come to Rabbi Shmuley, and I might share a lot of your views about Rabbi Shmuley. But the point that you seem to be wanting to move on from and deflect from.
I'm not moving on from it. I'm telling you that I had more information.
Your response was to Kanye saying, when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
Piers, you've said this 3 times, and
I know, because you don't want to answer the question.
I told you the reason why I said that is because I was aware of multiple people in his life that were doing something. There's no point in belaboring the point. I answered your question.
I'm simply asking you, when you say if you are an honest person, you did not think this tweet was anti-Semitic, you're saying that I'm dishonest because I believe what he said was anti-Semitic. And I
no, I am saying that, well, first off, I'm just to start back at the beginning of this interview, I think you're dishonest for a lot of other reasons. So please don't harp on this one tweet. But yeah, because you flip-flop on your positions the entire time. That's the reason why I tweeted about you. But everything, COVID, you flip-flopped on COVID, you flip-flopped on BLM. At 1 minute you were supporting BLM, and then you're like, my son's out protesting, it's amazing. And then when they're burning stuff down, I don't find you to be someone that actually takes meaningful risks and says what you believe. You kind of take both positions all the time.
Well, actually, I'm not an ideologue about any of it.
So don't pretend that the first time I ever suggested you were
I'm not an ideologue about any of these things, right? So you want me to be an ideologue, you want me to stick to one side on everything.
No, I'm just saying that it seems like once the conversation cracks, and this is a lot of people in media, they don't take risks, they deliver the government talking points, and then they move once it kind of becomes okay to question the government. So COVID, this was the prevailing narrative. You were like, get the vaccine, if you don't do the vaccine, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden now we're finding out that, and you would have called someone like me, anti-vax, trying to kill someone, all of these things. Well, I didn't get the vaccine. My family didn't get the vaccine. And now we're on the other side of this thing, and people are like, well, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe I have some regrets.
What do you think I've expressed regrets over?
Going with the mainstream narrative in the beginning.
Don't just be talking. What do you think I've expressed regret?
Don't just be talking. What do you mean? Let her finish. Jeez.
Well, let me ask you, are you still standing by all the stuff you said about people being idiots for not getting the vaccine?
Yeah, the only thing I changed, because the scientific advice
Okay, you know what? Excuse me. YouTube doesn't like vaccines, so I know they're gonna try and put this video low, 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 low. So you guys are gonna finish the rest of the debate. As you can see, it gets very, very, very heated, and they just go back and forth, ping pong. I wish Piers Morgan would just like relax a bit, because sometimes watching him, he's just like so aggressive. He doesn't let his guests finish. He asked them like such open-ended questions. Like I remember there's a part where he asks her, he asks her about a tweet that one of her followers tweeted. And then he asked her, so do you support this tweet? Do you support, and it's just like, bro, how can you ask her about a tweet that her follower tweeted, not her? You're supposed to be talking about shit that she's saying. And, so yeah, I don't know. Sometimes he can be very patronizing, and he doesn't let people finish, and he'll ask you a question and then you give an answer and he'll say, no, that's not your answer. Piers Morgan's weird, man. Piers Morgan's the type you ask him, so what would you like for breakfast? I wouldn't mind an egg. No, you would not like an egg. You actually racist. Piers. But anyway, shout out to Piers, man. He does his thing. And yeah, it's a great debate. Great debate. Guys, go finish the rest of it. All right, cool. Let's move on.